Well, Carl, I was just talking to my producer Anthony this morning about having you on my podcast, and he's like, "Smashburger is the best." And I didn't realize I was going to be talking to the president. What an honor! You have to tell us, how did you come up with this concept and such a successful burger that we all love so much?
Well, the founder, I'm not the founder. I'm the operator. I'm running the company today, but the founder had this vision of just having a better burger, and really escalating the burger experience from quality of food to service to the whole environment. And in back in 2007, they founded Smashburger because it's just better to smash a burger. It's all about smashing it on that buttered griddle and getting that great sear. We call the sear meat candy, and that meat candy is what really gives it something unique and flavorful. And then we let it cook in its own juices right on the griddle, and then we add our proprietary seasoning, and just having the best burger in the industry. So we're really kind of the innovators of smash burger. Now you hear people smashing burgers everywhere,
You
um,
do.
but uh, but that was it's in our name, and it's our vision. So we're really proud of our culinary technique, and that's what we do. We make a better burger, and we start with great certified Angus beef. We smash it on the grill to get that sear, create that meat candy, and that's what it's all about. Then you throw in some of our rosemary and herb fries, which we call smash fries, and a hand spun Haagen-Dazs milkshake. You can't go wrong. So it's all about when you go out for a burger, indulge yourself, and so that's what we're all about.
So you go to career day at your kids' schools, and everyone must be like, "Oh my gosh, you've got the coolest dad around." I mean, is it this not the coolest job?
It's a great job. It's a fun job. I've been in the restaurant business my whole life, and
Mhm.
my kids are all grown now, but they grew up in the restaurant business, so they always had a lot of fun being able to do those kind of things. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, our job is to make people have fun with food, and can't get a better job than that. So yeah, it's great.
Exactly.
It's a
How
lot of
did
fun.
you work your way up to the role of president? I'm always curious for the kids who might be listening.
Oh,
You know,
sure. I started washing dishes and working. I worked in an ice cream parlor in high school. I worked in restaurants in the kitchen. I've worked every job in the restaurant business all through my life since I was even a preteen. I worked in restaurants, learning. I grew up in New York City and greater New York area, and grew up working in restaurants my whole life. So when I got out of college, and I said, man, I love the adrenaline rush of the restaurant business, and so I stayed in it, and I've been in different aspects of it. But yeah, I've worked every position and became a manager, and then a director, and a regional, and a vice president, and I owned a lot of my own restaurants for many years. I was a franchisee of a big chain, and so when I came the opportunity to come to Smashburger, I was the COO before I took over the entire company. Because my background is operations and my passion is inside the four walls of the restaurant. So um, it just goes to show you that absolutely in this industry, there's so much opportunity. If you're hardworking and you're passionate, the sky's the limit. So there's all kinds of things you can do in the business.
do you have the luxury of being the undercover boss, going into different smash burgers all around the country and disguising yourself with a wig and a hat?
No, I'm a big guy, so I'm pretty. They know me, and
They know
we
you.
do. In today's world, it's different. Years ago, you could probably get away with that, but today, everything we do a lot of video conference. We do a lot of Zoom or Teams calls, and I'm in restaurants. One of the most important things is my entire leadership team. We're in restaurants all the time, so I expect my team to know me, and I know them, and we learn from our team. So it's hard to be undercover when you're always engaged with your team. I've been asked to do that undercover boss, and I a couple times, and I said, "There's just no way. You can't hide this," And
That's so funny.
yeah, it would be fun, but it's the restaurant business is all about hospitality, and hospitality goes many ways. It's not just for the guest; it's for the internal guest, the team members. So when you engage with your teams and spend time in restaurants, I spend at least 1 week out of the month, if not 2 weeks out of the month, in restaurants somewhere in the world, and engaging with the team. That's how we learn and how we get better. So it's a lot of fun, but that's what it's all about.
What would be your mission statement? What do you tell your team when you're having a motivational speech? Does it come down to one phrase, a motto?
Definitely during COVID, one of the phrases we came up with was just be kind. Be
That's
kind.
excellent.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. I mean, it's a golden rule. Um, the most important people in our business are the frontline people that deal with our guests every day. So really, you want to treat each other with respect. And I know this is kind of cliche, but that's what it really comes down to. In our businesses, we're in the service industry. So if you're a frontliner working in our restaurants, be kind, treat each other the way you want to be treated. Simple as that. And if you're in our support services, we do have a rally cry, and it says, if you're not serving the guest, you're serving someone who is. And that's our job. So my job is to serve my employees. My job and my support centers team, our corporate office team, we're really a support center. And that's our rally cry always. If you're not serving the guest, you're serving someone who is.
I
And I would
love that.
recommend to anybody in their life, in any raising any children or spend any time, spend a year in the service industry, and it'll just make you a better person. You realize how to interact with people. There's so many social skills you pick up. Most important thing is really how you treat people in life and how you want to be treated. And I think you learn that in hospitality. Just being gracious hospitality is just a genuine way to live your life. So all my kids worked in restaurants. Ones that I've either owned or ran, just to learn what the industry is. And I think everybody would be better off if we all served each other every once in a while.
What great advice, Carl. I love that. I love that. Now, you guys have something pretty innovative that you've planned, and you want to share it with our viewers?
You're talking about our virtual drive-through? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So the world's changing. The world's changing, and people are on the run. And you saw it during COVID. I'll give you an example. Our dine-in sales were 65% of our business pre-COVID. During during the peak of COVID, it was 1% of our business.
Man.
And we had to find a way to think about our business differently and evolve our business. And there's a lot of buzzwords around digital transformation, and that's really what we realized was we had to find a different way to get our products in our guests' hands. During COVID, we were able to escalate that and move that faster. And one of the best ways to do that was really embrace digital. And a big part of that is drive-throughs. So we don't have a lot of drive-throughs. And like I explained earlier, we cook our food fresh to order every time.
Right,
So it
right.
takes longer. It just takes longer. We're not fast food. We're fast casual. So, and there is a difference. We want to cook it fresh every time to order. So we started to rely on technology to help us make us do that. And when I talk about drive-throughs, you can look at a lot of the typical fast food or what we call QSR restaurants, and they have 30 cars in line during the drive-throughs, or 40 or 100 cars during COVID. And that takes up a lot of real estate. That takes up a lot of time. That takes a lot of technology, a lot of manpower, and it gives you a lot of food that's cold, and it gives you a lot of food that dies, in the window, so to speak.
Right.
It gives you a lot of food that has to be pre-cooked and cooked, and held somehow. And we really didn't want to sacrifice our standards. I truly believe in whatever it takes to keep that gold standard of our products. So what we had to do is come up with technology that would help us communicate back and forth to our guests on timing. So a typical drive-through is 3 steps. The first step is you go to a squawk box, they call it, on a big menu board, and you look for your order. That takes time. You're looking at a big menu board, and then you yell your order in. So mistakes happen, right?
Right.
Then the next step is maybe you go up to a window and you pay for it. And there's a payment step, and that takes time. And then the third step is maybe you get your food on that third step. That process could take 14 minutes. It could take 20 minutes. It could take an hour. And of course, it creates a lot of traffic congestion. It creates a lot of parking issues. So we said, how do we adjust for that and use technology in our favor? So what we've done is create what we call virtual drive-through. And virtual drive-through is simple, is that you eliminate the first steps in the process. People use their phones or their laptops or wherever they want to order our food. They can go through our app, order our food, and then tell us that we want it for virtual drive-through pickup. So they also pay through the app. So now you've really eliminated step 1 and step 2.
Right.
So now all you got to do is pick up the food. So we needed to work and find a way through technology to communicate back and forth to the guests, to tell them exactly when to come to the drive-through. At Smashburger, we believe a virtual drive-through that's really busy will only have 2 cars, maybe 3 at most, because the experience should be about 15 or 20 seconds. You should pull up the minute we tell you to pull up. You pull up, we hand you food, and you go. People on the run, people in between jobs, people working hybrid and trying to manage kids at home, they need that technology. So we had to find a way to give them what they needed. And that's the job of the restaurant industry today. As it evolves, how do you do a better job of getting the food in people's hands when they're juggling all kinds of new challenges? So this technology that we use, and we partner with a company called Curbit, great new partners. And what they do is we're able to use the time that you're commuting to the restaurant as our fresh cook time. So instead of you ordering and waiting for us to cook it for you, we don't have to sacrifice our gold standard food and our cook to order process. We can just utilize your travel time as our cook time. So through
Well,
technology,
hold on, Carl. What
yeah,
it's like, it reminds me of me calling my husband and saying, Bob, when are you going to be home? I'll be home in 20 minutes. Done.
that's it.
I will have dinner ready for you.
It really goes full circle, doesn't it? So and that's our job in today's world with two income families, and it's our job to have dinner ready for your husband, or for your spouse or your kids, right?
I love
So
it.
it's our
Yeah.
job. How do we do that? And
Mhm.
that's the key. So we're really close, and we launched our first one in Houston. Really excited about the Galleria and location, and it's maybe up to about 8% on a good day of our business already. I
Wow.
believe it'll be 25 or 30% of our
Mhm.
business within the
Mhm.
next 6 months as people understand that a mobile app pickup lane is exactly that. Come in, pick up your food, and go. You should be in and out in 20 seconds, not a problem. And it's just important that we communicate based on the timing. So what the technology does, it looks into the restaurant, it looks in and sees the volume of the restaurant, how much time it's taking for orders to be cooked, and then it sends a message back to the consumer and says, about this time, show up in our parking lot. And then we'll
Man.
send you a text exactly to the minute when you should drive through. You drive right through, we hand you your food, and you're off on your way.
Oh,
Um,
Carl, that's
that's virtual
amazing.
drive-through. So
That is incredible. I love it. Have you been getting feedback? I mean, what are people responding? Because we're used to the old drive-through. We'll wait because there's no other options. But now with you guys, the wait is over.
yeah, and you're going to see this more and more evolve. This is going to be a big part of the kind of the technology revolution of the restaurant industry. Restaurant has always been so low tech because it's so important to have a human being cooking your food and
Right.
making things like that. So the reaction's been fantastic. The people that are learning it, but there's a learning curve because, like you said, everybody's used to the traditional drive-through that you've grown up with all these years. So there's a learning curve, and it takes time. But we see day in and day out our traffic just growing slowly. So we really believe, and that's why we named it. There's other chains that have fun names and sexier names that we came up with. But we just said, let's call it the mobile app pickup lane because that's what it is. That's what it does. Now, eventually, we may get a nicer, fancier name and put Smashburger in there somehow. But it was most importantly to educate the consumer on another way to dine in today's world. So, mobile app pickup lane. You come through the lane, you pick it up, and once you know that you're using your mobile app to order your food, the simplicity and the ease for the consumer is just tremendous. So feedback's been awesome.
Yeah. And now, so you're not using robots. You are actually have people making my burger.
Absolutely no robots yet. I think that may evolve in time, but you know we're really focused on the culinary, love and passion for food. So it's really important that a human being is looking at that food and understanding exactly. You know, I don't know if you ever made pancakes at home and you see a pancake
Sure.
bubbling, that's the time to flip it. That's
Right.
the time to flip a burger. So the way we smash our burger, that bubbling of the oil from the butter from the griddle, and then the fresh juices of the burger with our seasoning, you start seeing it bubbling. Okay, now I'm going to take 3 little scrapes to make sure I get that meat candy, and I'm going to flip that burger. I'm sure someday they can get a robot to do that, but today it's all about the passion of our cooks and putting out this great product. So no robots yet. Maybe on the delivery side, I think that's coming soon. Um, but there's something passionate about making a great product and food for somebody you care about, and that's what it's all about. So I don't want to take away the human side of our business.
I always say that I like to spend my money with people who care about me. And what you're telling me is you really do care about the customer. And that's just refreshing. I love to hear that. And what you've done with what everyone, the word was pivot during the pandemic. You have
Yeah,
pivoted, and it's actually going to bless you because you're still providing that incredibly fresh product, but yet you're making it so much more convenient for us. And
exactly.
I
That's the
love that.
strategy. Yeah, it's
Where is
it's
the
a
Houston
passion for it.
location? We're in the Galleria.
We're in actually in a strip mall right out front, freestanding building on Richmond Avenue there.
Okay.
I think it's Richmond Avenue.
It's
Yeah.
Richmond. Yep.
And what a great location. I mean, there's so many residential people there. There's office space there. There's, there's obviously a lot of retail space there. So we thought it was a great spot. And what a great use of real estate. Take an old bank, 2,000 square foot bank, and refurbish it into this great looking restaurant with we have a great outdoor patio there too. So you can sit and dine in outside on the patio or inside. And dining in, at least maybe not in the middle of the summer in Houston, but the rest of the year, it's awesome down there. So I was
Yeah.
down there for opening day, and we were all sitting out on the patio. And so it's a great location, a lot of visibility, really services a lot of different kinds of consumers. Like you said, working people, hybrid work people, residential, and then, of course, people that are shopping for retail.
Hey, there's going to be a lot of real estate because a lot of people aren't going to go back to work because they realize I can work from home. So what you're doing in that respect is awesome as well, helping out the economy. But where do you have, for people who are listening nationwide or watching us nationwide, where next? Houston's first. What next?
So we have a couple existing kind of traditional drive-throughs that we're converting in Colorado Springs and Colorado.
Nice.
So that'll be next. And then we have one up in Minnesota, in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, that we're going to convert. So we'll convert some of our existing stores. And then a lot of our existing stores, we're going to look for virtual drive-through opportunities where we could create a lane, or even in an urban setting, we might do a walk-up lane, like a pickup window. So like in the bigger cities where downtown Chicago or New York, we could create a pickup window, same technology, same theory, right? Now you just don't have to walk in a restaurant. You just go up to a window, you grab your food and go. And people are working hard and hustling and hybrid work. And so we're trying to create different opportunities. So some of our core markets, you'll see it next as we convert existing restaurants. And we're continuing to grow in the East Coast. We want to grow more in Houston. Our restaurants, we have a great operator in Houston and a great team. So we're going to grow in Houston. We're going to grow in Dallas. Obviously, we were born and founded in Denver, and we love Colorado, so we'll grow in Colorado, Arizona, California. So we're in about 34 states and 7 countries. So we're going to be adding these virtual drive-throughs everywhere we can.
Do you ever stop? You seem very high energy.
Oh yeah, no, it's a passion play for me. So I love what I do. So no, I'm a high energy person, and looking at sales and guest feedback, and it's kind of a 24/7 thing. So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to take a minute to relax. But no, I was always an athlete when I was younger. So the adrenaline rush you get out of the restaurant business is just like that, serving guests and interacting with people. It's such a, I'm blessed to have this kind of opportunity and this kind of job. So no, I run, 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 run. And
I love it. I
that's
love
how
it.
I like to live.
I love you. And I do too. It's just, I feel like we've only got a limited period of time. Let's make the most of it, right?
Absolutely. Time time flies. Yeah,
It does. It
life is
does.
quick, so you better get the most out of it. So
I
we,
love your
play
every
hard.
bite a better burger. I love that. It just makes it sound better and better. And I've never heard of meat candy before. Great terms that you guys have at Smashburger. It sounds like such a fun place to work. If people want to get involved with you and maybe become part of the service industry, what would you recommend in maybe our teenagers looking for a summer job?
Stop at any one of our restaurants, go to smashburger.com and apply, but just go in and talk to our teams and our people. I know there's a lot of technology and people, they can apply. You can apply right over your phone, and that's fine, but there's nothing substitutes for personal interaction. So just go in and say, hey, I want to be part of the team. And we're always looking for teammates, and we're always growing. So we're looking for more people that are passionate about people. The food business is about people. We're in the people business. It's the food is the object, and it's important that you carve that. It's like a piece of clay. You carve that piece of artwork to make it great, but it's really to serve another human being. So if you love people and you like interacting with people, the food business is a great place to be.
That's awesome. Carl, thank you. The best of luck with this. I know it's going to do great. Keep the robots at bay as long as you can because we love interacting with people.
Absolutely.
You're the best. Thank you so much for a little bit of your time today. And thanks for sharing what Smashburger has in store for all of us hungry people. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for the time. Pleasure meeting you.